Welcome back as we move on to the Autosport Caterham Academy, a championship aimed specifically at novices.
The Academy is the first rung of the Caterham Motorsport ladder. You purchase the car and with it comes seasons racing, some tuition, and really a lot of fun, a lot of social activities and great support from the paddock really. I think everyone likes it because it enables novices to go out racing. So none of us have held any of the national racing licences in Britain. Yeah, you can do a lot of karting, you can do owner driver stuff, so you can have experience of cars and as many track days as you like, but you're never allowed to have held a previous motorsport licence. So really, all of us begin in the same place and progress together, and that's why it's so attractive. Plus, it's British heritage for the cars, which is great.
So this is how the lineup for the Group 2 race. David Robinson qualifies on pole from Brad Smith. Andrew Welch third, just 0.2 of a second between the three of them. Robert Smith is fourth, Ashley Patterson and William Scully on row 3. A terrific sight then, almost 30 cars on the grid. On board here with Alex McKindo, number 18 from 7th on the grid. He gets off to a rocket start as well. He's going to pick up at least 2 places here. The white car on the inside is the pole position man, David Robinson. He's dropped back to 3rd, maybe 4th place. So Andrew Welch in the blue machine looked like he got into the lead. Meanwhile, Kevin Robson here, car number 17, trying to go around the outside of everybody from 16th on the grid. And it looks like he's picked up a couple of places as well. So it's Welch that leads, number 8 Brad Smith in 2nd place, and side by side for 3rd David Robinson from pole position, and on board now with Alex McKindo trying to go around the outside of him. McKindo tucks into 4th, but that's still a very good start from 7th place as they run now down towards Graham Hill Bend. And there's a queue forming up behind David Robinson here. There is the number 18 car that we saw the on-board with, and number 10 just behind. Robert Smith has dropped back from 4th on the grid, but is trying to make amends for that. Meanwhile, there's carnage behind off the road. Number 99, Andrew Easterbrook. Number 69, Adrian Hume. Number 17, Keith Robson as well with the on-board camera there. The silver car with the orange roll hoops. And here are the race leaders, meanwhile, making their way now towards the end of lap number 1. And it's still Andrew Welch that leads from 3rd on the grid. Terrific start by him. He's already pulling clear as well from the rest of the pack. Look at that for a lap 1 lead. Excellent stuff by him. 2nd place is number 8 Brad Smith. That's where he started. Then it's David Robinson from the pole position back up to 3rd place. 4th now is number 10 Robert Smith, so he's back up the order as well. Then it's number 18 coming under attack here, Alex McKindo. From number 9 all the way around the outside goes Jake Bradshaw, and he's had a great start from 12th. We've got a spinner as well coming out of Paddock Hill Bend. That is the number 5 car of Ashley Patterson that let go, and another one spins in sympathy there. It's very, very slippy out there and a difficult part of the track. Now here's a replay of that lap 1 incident from Kevin Robson's car. You see number 99 spin there, and as Andrew Easterbrook went off, so too did Keith Robson in avoidance, and then carnage ensued just behind. And there's more action here. Back to the battle for 2nd place between number 8 Brad Smith and number 16 David Robinson. There was barely anything to choose between this pair in qualifying, and there's nothing between them at all now as they come up Howard Hill, running a little bit wide there. It was the number 8 car of Brad Smith, so the white machine of David Robinson comes through, and that was because he lost traction on the curbs there, and so he has to give it up. Meanwhile, we are back on board with Kevin Robson. After that spin, he has recovered, and he is now working his way back up through the order, about to pass 2 cars, including number 76 Rob Windsor with a great move there around the outside into Paddock Hill Bend. Number 60 has had a moment, Robert Oliver. He's struggling a little bit and is now being lapped by this battle between number 10 Robert Smith and number 9 Jake Bradshaw, who's made a great start to this race. But there is the race leader, Andrew Welch, who we heard from before the race, and he looks absolutely comfortable here. These 125 brake horsepower Caterhams, powered by 1600cc Ford Sigma engines, so plenty of power, not that much grip in these conditions. There is David Robinson then, back up into 2nd place. The battle for 3rd is getting closer as well, because number 10 Robert Smith is now catching up with the number 8 machine of Brad Smith, just behind the pair of them. The number 9 car of Jake Bradshaw from 12th on the grid. That's number 5 Ashley Patterson, who qualified 5th, but had that spin coming out of Paddock Hill Bend a couple of laps ago. There's another spinner as well. That's number 22 William Scully, who qualified 6th, but he controls it well, a full 360, and he gets it pointed back in the right direction. There's number 6. That's another one that has worked his way up the order somewhat. Charlie Misen from the 6th row of the grid. Meanwhile, back on board with Alex McKindo, number 18. He's running inside the top 6. Had that great start from 7th on the grid, but he's dropped back a little bit since. And it is Charlie Misen that's on his tail in the 6th car. And there's battles all the way down through the field. This is number 27 versus number 69. Michael Steeden versus Adrian Hume. And he gets on the way into Paddock Hill Bend. These pair working their way up nicely up through the order, having qualified somewhat down the order. up. And they climb up now towards Druids Corner. Big gaggle of Caterhams here. We've got another spinner as well. And that's right in front of the race leader. And Andrew Welch in the blue car there. He's sent into the gravel and loses part of his car. And look, David Robinson in the white machine is about to pounce and try and take the lead of the race. Still side by side as they're going towards Druids Corner. The wide line is not going to work, though, for the former race leader, Andrew Welch. That's the car that spun. Number 3, Grant Phillips, that was being lapped. They're still side by side on the way to Graham Hill Bend. Andrew Welch is not going to give this one up, whether or not he's got his full Caterham intact. He's now trying to go around the outside on the way into Surtees. Another back marker looms as well, but he's just about going to squeeze back around the outside with a somewhat lighter Caterham than he had half a lap ago. Now the back marker is getting in the way of David Robinson, so around the outside goes Andrew Welch. Sometimes there's more grip around the outside in wet conditions off the racing line, and that proves to be the case there for Andrew Welch. David Robinson having to take to the paint there, and here is a replay. And look, he almost squeezed through. He just clipped the right rear corner as he went past the spinning back marker, and Andrew Welch then did well to keep it out of the tyre barrier. Lost the lead briefly, but he's got it back now. Back on board with Kevin Robson, who's fighting his way back up into the middle of the pack now, having been dead last pretty much at the end of that first lap. So he's doing a good job to charge his way back through the field. And now there's lots more back markers. There's the blue car, number 21, that leads the race. Andrew Welch trying to come through more back markers at the inside is David Robinson, and he's lost it on the way into Paddock Hill Bend. Just got squeezed by the back markers. He was desperate to get through to try and stay in touch with the race leader. We've got another one through the gravel here. Absolute drama. Number 27 this time it is, Michael Steed. And don't forget, this is everybody's first circuit race. So doing a good job to get it to the checkered flag by such a handsome winning margin. Well done to Andrew Welch. Robert Smith and Brad Smith take second and third. Jake Bradshaw and Charlie Miser make good progress from the midfield, and Alex McKindo completes the top 6. A well-deserved victory then for Andrew Welch, and a great result in difficult conditions for the other 2 men on the podium.
Really, I was happy to finish 4th or 5th, but seeing, unfortunately, Dave in the cat litter at the end, I thought at least a podium. Then Brad had a problem with a back marker and managed to get him, so quite chuffed.
I've never had to drive so tentatively. Haven't done much in the wet, to be honest, but the car was all over the place. Really having to wait to get on the throttle, so it was enjoyable.
Finally this week, we've got action from the Alfashop Alfa Romeo Championship, open to any production-based Alfa and still going strong after 30 years.
We've gone through all sorts of developments. We had the years, of course, when we had split grids, when we had the 33s and the Alfa Surds. But of course now, with the 33 becoming much more difficult to race because spare parts are more difficult to come by, the Alfa Surd, of course, has gone into more sort of classic historic racing. So we're relying much more on the more modern cars, the 156, 147, and that sort of thing. And it's working out very well. But we just like a few more of them, really.
There's a genuine passion for the much-loved Italian marque, and drivers like Sarah Hills have been involved in the championship for many years.
I would never have raced in anything else, to be honest. I'd been around for about, well, now 20-something years, enjoying it. Pit crew originally, and then decided to have a go at racing. I hit my 40th birthday, and I thought, if I don't do it now and get my licence, I never will. So that was the deciding factor.
So it's Neil Smith on pole position, Stephen Dimmock qualifies second, Paul Plant and John Griffiths on row 2, James Thomas and Louise West on row 3, Ron Davidson and Andy Inman start on row 4, and Ron Davidson you're on board with now as the race gets underway, and this is a decent start from 7th on the grid, picking up a couple of places already. Meanwhile up front it's the pole position man Neil Smith that will lead on the way into Paddock Hill Bend. Second will be Stephen Dimmock, third will be the former champion Paul Plant in the blue Alfa 33. It's going to be side by side for 4th though on the way up towards Druids Corner. On the inside line just about, I think, was Ron Davidson. This is Louise West, and she's trying to attack number 27, James Thomas. In fact, James comes through, 1 or 2 others trying to come around as well. There is the 4th place car, Ron Davidson, so he made it through. 5th is number 27, James Thomas, and Louise West dropping back another 2 or 3 places there. So Ron Davidson making a terrific start then to gain 3 positions off the line. He works his way now towards the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend. Already coming out of it is the number 97 car of Neil Smith. Looking back now from Sarah Hills, who we heard from before the show, and that is the reigning champion Mel Healy just behind, and trying to go up to both of them after a poor qualifying is number 10 Anthony George in the white 156 turbo, and through comes the former double champion to pick up a couple of places. Right, there's the 3rd place car of Paul Plant. 4th there is Ron Davidson, who we've had some onboard footage with, and John Griffiths number 6 just behind. He's got ahead of number 27 James Thomas, and there's number 79 David Messenger. Thomas and Messenger first and second at the moment in Class E, and there could be another move here because Ron Davidson, who you're right on board with now, about to be passed by the number 6 car of John Griffiths, the orange 156 on the way into Druids. And there's number 10, and he's gone slowly again, Anthony George. A difficult weekend, a car that's normally at the front, and there he is, I'm afraid, peeling off into the pit lane and early retirement. There's Stephen Dimmock, number 11. He's second in the race, but he leads his category. And that beautiful looking Alfa 156. Look at the rain, huge amounts of spray out there. Meanwhile, it's side by side in the battle for third place, and through comes number 6 John Griffiths. Does he just about around the outside here, but number 90 Paul Plant, the 2009 champion, he's trying to fight back up the inside here as they come into clearways now to complete another lap. A great move that though to get third position. There's number 27 James Thomas, who leads Class E, but looming up behind him the number 19 machine of Nick Anderson, which has come from 14th on the grid. Then that's number 79 David Messenger, and there number 19 goes through. Excellent traction, more power. Anderson goes through. There's Neil Smith, the race leader, the former world touring car that once driven by James Thompson and Gabriele Tarquini. Very powerful car. Number 74 Andy Iman has just flashed through shot. He's been chased by number 1 Mel Healy. And looking back now from Sarah Hills, who's running further down the order, about to be lapped. Look at the amount of spray that's coming off the back of her car. Around the outside comes number 6, John Griffiths, to lap her. He now up into third place after a couple of lovely overtaking manoeuvres. Coming up close though, number 19 there you can see Nick Anderson in that 33, which has done terrifically well to come through the order after a poor qualifying. And then number 19 laps Sarah Hills in her number 39 machine, which is the Alfa 147. There is one of the back markers, but Guy Howell still doing a good job to stay on in these conditions. The silver 33 of number 43, Louise West, has dropped back a bit in this race after an excellent qualifying, and they're just behind number 96, Emma Kawaki, the Canadian driver, closing up fast through Druids Corner. And what's this? Somebody's going off. It's number 19 that's made a mistake. It's Nick Anderson from 4th place, having charged through the field and just got onto the tail end of John Griffiths. There is John Griffiths, who's on his own now in 3rd place. Nick Anderson is recovering from that spin, but look, Paul Plant in the blue number 90 Alfa 33 is going to squeeze through as well on the way into Graham Hill Bend. And there is a change for position, so 2 places lost after a terrific drive through the order from Nick Anderson. But now he's got good traction, and he's got the inside line on the way into Surtees, and he gets the place back up to 4th position for him. So it's all going on in this Alfa race in these very difficult conditions. That's number 97, the race leader, lapping number 79, David Messenger. But David's still running well within his class, and he's about to lap as well. Number 27, James Thomas, the Class E leader. So the race leader, Neil Smith, double champion, has lapped most of the field now. He's lapped everybody inside the top 6 pretty much. Everybody else, this huge pack of cars running up towards Druids once more. There's lots of back markers to deal with, but he's not going to deal with them just yet because number 6, John Griffiths, has got into a spin all by himself. And coming up fast, this is the one that spun earlier, number 19, Nick Anderson, in the battle for 3rd place. Can he get back on the track in time? No is the answer, so Nick Anderson comes back through, both of them going off the road. But it's gone back in favour now of Nick Anderson, who picks up that 3rd place. Meanwhile, Neil Smith, this has been a dominant drive by him. He's on his way to the checkered flag. Number 11, Stephen Dimmock, the only man on the lead lap. The checkered flag comes out, and Neil Smith wins. Stephen Dimmock is the A2 class winner. Nick Anderson takes 3rd from 14th on the grid. John Griffiths, Paul Plant and Ron Davidson are all class winners, as is David Messenger, who finished 7th.
We had a lot of debate before we went out to race because there was a drying line and then suddenly the rain came, and it's always a challenge because you never know exactly what tyre to put on. We all went for the right choice in the end.
It was a case of tucking in behind Neil and just trying to keep as close to him as I possibly could for the first couple of laps. But then he just cleared off. I just couldn't keep up with him. So after that, it was more of a case of just keeping a good line, making sure they're not braking too late and trying to keep clear of all of the back markers.
Thanks for watching our coverage of the BRSCC Brands Hatch Race Day, and hopefully you can join us next time for more racing action.